Good morning students of standard 10. Today we are going to discuss topic brain from chapter 2, control and coordination. Brain, it is the controlling organ of the body. It remains enveloped by cranium. So students, brain is the important organ of the body which is responsible for controlling each and every activity which is taking place within the body. So its brain remains enveloped, that is, remains covered by a hard outermost bony structure which we call it as cranium. So its cranium is also called as skull. So students, cranium is also called as skull. The following are the distinct parts of brain: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So students, the most important parts of the brain are forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Students, forebrain actually is the front part of the brain which you also can concentrate here, and midbrain is the middle part of the brain. Now students, this middle part of the brain you can see here, which is also has been showed here. Now students, the hindbrain is actually the ventral part of the brain. So students, hindbrain also, if you concentrate, you can find here, which comprises of pons, medulla oblongata and cerebellum, and these all three remains present at the back of the brain. Forebrain comprises of following parts: cerebrum, it is so students, the largest part of the brain is cerebellum. Olfactory lobes, olfactory nerves originate from it. Diencephalon, hypothalamus present in it secretes. So students, forebrain comprises of, that is made up of cerebrum, olfactory lobes and diencephalon. Students, we know that cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. So students, cerebrum actually comprises of 80% of the total brain. Olfactory lobes. Students, from olfactory lobes, olfactory nerve originates from it. So students, olfactory lobes are actually structures which appears like this way. So students, these are the olfactory lobes from where the nerves arises, olfactory nerves arises. This is called as olfactory bulb, whereas this is called as olfactory tract. So students, the bulb structure which you can see here from which the nerves are originating, that's called as the olfactory bulb, and the tail-like tubular structure which you can see at the ventral side of the olfactory lobes is called as olfactory tract. Students, we can also say that olfactory lobe actually is differentiated into two important parts, olfactory bulb and olfactory tract. Diencephalon. Hypothalamus present in it secrete hormones. So students, diencephalon also is a cavity like structure which remains present in the brain, and one of the most important part of the diencephalon is the hypothalamus which secretes hormones. Students, although diencephalon has other two parts which are epithalamus and thalamus. Students, here you can easily notice in this picture the forebrain, which is the front part of the brain, the midbrain, which is the middle part of the brain, and the hindbrain, which is the ventral part of the brain. So students, here the forebrain comprises of cerebrum, midbrain comprises of corpora quadrigemina, which remains present in the cavity, and crura cerebri, which remains present within the cavity, that is midbrain, and hindbrain, which you can find here is cerebellum, pons, and medulla. Midbrain comprises of following parts: corpora quadrigemina and crura cerebri. Contribute in vision. So students, here if you concentrate, then you will be able to understand that midbrain is mainly made up of two important parts, that is corpora quadrigemina and crura cerebri, and the main function of which is in vision. So students, if we concentrate on this picture, then we will be able to locate quite easily the midbrain, which is here students. Hindbrain. It comprises of following parts: cerebellum. It maintains balance and equilibrium of. So students, cerebellum is the second largest part of the brain, and the main function of which is to maintain the balance and the equilibrium of the body. Pons. It coordinates between cerebral hemispheres. it coordinates between the cerebral hemispheres. So students, the main function of the pons is to make the activities of the cerebellum, which are in two hemispheres, right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere, remain coordinated, that is supported and equally assisted. Medulla oblongata, it regulates various important reflex centers of the body. Most of the important functions like breathing, respiration center and hunger center remains controlled by the medulla oblongata. Even the heartbeat center remains controlled by the medulla oblongata. So students, we can say that the respiratory center, heartbeat center, hunger center are controlled by the medulla oblongata. Besides, even sneezing and coughing. So students, these all centers are controlled by medulla oblongata. So students, if you concentrate on this picture, you can easily locate the medulla, the pons and the cerebellum. Students, now let's discuss a very important question. What is corpus callosum? It is a band of nerve fibers which is found in between two cerebral hemispheres. Thank you, students.